Call the Board of Supervisors to order. May I have a roll call, please?
Supervisor Giomi.
Here.
Supervisor White. Here. Supervisor Horton. Supervisor Schutte.
Here.
Mayor Bagwell.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you so much. We're now going to go to agenda item number 3, which is our invocation. Pastor Peggy Locke, the assisting minister at Reno Hillside Foursquare Church. Would you lead us in prayer?
Thank you. The book of Isaiah 41:10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Almighty God, our Father in heaven, we give you praise. We're thankful that you're here with us and you promise never to leave us nor forsake us. You've not given to us a spirit of fear and timidity, but of power, love, and a sound mind. In these days, we ask for your grace, wisdom, and understanding. We invite your presence to guide and direct our steps. Guard our hearts and our thoughts. Give strength and endurance to those who are weary. You are our help in times of trouble. Bless our families, our co-workers, all who are here. We pray for your protection for those who courageously serve in harm's way. We speak grace over our mayor, board of supervisors, our sheriff, and fire departments. You are our hiding place, and under the shadow of your wings, we take refuge. May the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. That was very nice. We're now going to move to our Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Hicks, will you do us the honor of leading us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. We're now on to agenda item 5, which is our opening public comment. Mr. French, did you want it at beginning and you put a question mark, so I don't know which answer. So come on.
Denny French, Carson City, Nevada, mayor and supervisors. Denny French is a name you probably hear quite a bit because I seem to be involved with a lot of considerations. I don't think that they're just mine, but I do have to say I own up to my own statements. I am not affiliated with any group or organization because I could be quite controversial. The main thing is today I wanted to bring up items that I just put down and can't figure out where I put them. Pain is a big factor in life, and when you're trying to function under it, you have to be especially cautious. I lost my list, so I'm going to have to wing it. Wing it. So today, one of the things that I just want to get right off my chest is that I had a situation last night that not only shook me, but had me feeling very humbled and very vulnerable. So I called and got some help from an advice nurse. Well, she was straight up. She said, got all the facts about what I was calling about and had me calm down, and I was good. And she said, well, Mr. French, are you following the doctor's instructions? And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't make a list. I wasn't in the mood to try. But I had done the exercises, and I'm doing the sling. And I said, sorta, because I don't take medications just because they're, so I hadn't taken anything for the pain, and it got to the 8.5 point, and I was like screaming meanings. And I'm pretty tough. I usually rate my 8 where most people would say was 10 or so. But the deal is that she made some good sense. Just that one question, Mr. French, are you watching the doctor's orders? Are you following them? And I would make the analogy to suggest that Prison Hill, were it to keep to its vision, I'm still not a fan of off-highway vehicles up there. But I took the initiative to find out what other perspectives there were and why those people were feeling that it would be fine and that there's not an issue or no dangers. I still have those concerns, even though the individual that I went up with and I didn't agree on things because she felt that there is room for both. There's room for walkers, riders, drivers, and I was opposed. Well, we ended up becoming friends, and I have since my status of no, all or nothing type situation. Is that my actual time? Okay, well, the main thing is, please, don't vary from the master plan that you very carefully put together for the people. And I think there are some things that should be reviewed, maybe some areas that need to actually be closed and others that just need to be mapped and more education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. French. I don't have anyone else signed up for public comment, but I'll give one quick. No, thank you, and be well. Be well. Okay, we're now going to move on to agenda item 6, which is approval of our minutes of May 18, 2023. Does any member have any corrections, changes? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion, please.
Move to approve the Carson City Board of Supervisors and Redevelopment Authority meeting minutes for 18 May 2023 as presented.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you. We're now on to agenda item number 7, which is our presentation and length of service certificates for our city employees. Would you like to join me on the floor? Always so much fun. Okay. Wow, these are all 15 years? Gee whiz, 15 years set. This is pretty exciting. So the first step, come on, Anna Herring, an office specialist. Yeah. Oh, Anna. Oh, forget it. We need hugs. Right? We need hugs for this greatness. And I know someone that wants to say a few special things about it.
Thank you, Mayor. So this is Anna Herring. She's a senior office specialist with our office. She's been with the office almost twice as long as I have. So I think it should be her name on the door, not mine. But Anna does so many different things for our office, but her primary function is staffing the reception desk and answering incoming calls for the office. And I did not appreciate how extremely difficult and critically important that function is in a public agency. And she just does it extremely well. People who are contacting our office are not having their best day, and she deals with angry people, vulnerable people, hurt people, and she just does it at an extremely high level. So for 15 years of service, thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you. Right here. You're not getting away. You're not getting away. Okay, our next one is Ronald Locatelli, a deputy sheriff, 15 years. Thank you so much for your service. It is so appreciated. You got to frame this or something, you know. It's important.
Good job, buddy. Melanie's over here watching me and she says, keep these things short. I have a novel. Deputy Locatelli's been with the Sheriff's Office since 2008 in June, and he's assigned to the Detention Division. This is a really significant assignment for the Sheriff's Office and the community, as he also acts as one of our gang response officers in that detention environment and aggressively collects information that we can use in our community to better safeguard. We are extraordinarily pleased with his 15 years of service and hope the best of the next 10 to 15 years.
Oh, you stole my line. Gosh. I try and get all the officers to go to the 30 even instead of the 25. You stole my line. That was good, though. Okay, we have Aaron McMahon, another deputy sheriff with 15 years. Did you guys start at the same time? It's close?
3 weeks apart.
3 weeks apart? Oh, thank you also so very much for your service. The community really appreciates it.
All of your struggles are because of her. It's a pleasure. Detective McMahon, like we said, has been with us since 2008 also. She's been through assignments throughout the Sheriff's Department, performed exceptionally well. And I do want to note that this year especially, Erin has taken on one of the most challenging investigations that I've ever seen, and just performed amazingly, just as she has all the way throughout her career. She and Ron are on a hard run to see who can work for the sheriff's office the longest. Congratulations, Erin. Thank you.
Thank you again so very much. Okay, and our last 15 year is Shadow Kelly, a water production operator. We do get to say 15 more years, right? Oh, we have it on tape. You heard that, right? She said absolutely. So it's on tape. Thank you so much for all your work. I think she's also pretty fast at work, right? Does a great job, I hear.
I'll just talk fast here. Shadow has recently been promoted to water production operator, but before that, she was a long-standing and seasoned water meter technician where her impeccable customer service and knowledge gathered countless happy customer calls. Shadow is our highest decorated employee in the Public Works Department for customer service compliments back to our department currently. She gets the most. So, thanks, Shadow.
I'm telling you, it's true because I heard it. So it's really wonderful when people send the mayor atta girls, atta boys, and we get lots of them. So thank you, Shadow, for all your work. I have one more with how many years? 5 years. Robert Smith. Okay, come on, Robert. Hello. Congrats. Thank you. 5. Well, then we have to have the common speech because that means 25 more.
No, thanks.
Erase the tape. That was not the right answer.
I'm leaving when Jason's leaving.
Oh, he's hooked. There you go.
So this is Bob Smith. Bob is the investigator with our office, and this is actually his second law enforcement career. He's retired as a police officer out of Southern California, and we lured him up here to beautiful Northern Nevada. Bob is a tremendous person to have in the office. He has a great sense of humor, enjoys sports. I see he's got his Rams tie on. But beyond that, we've just asked Bob, and an investigator in this size of jurisdictions can be asked to do a lot of different things. And we've asked that of Bob. He's done everything from assist me to reconstructing a 25-year-old murder to contacting the person involved in a traffic accident to make sure their damages have been paid off. And he's just done it under challenging circumstances and in a very exceptional way. So we really appreciate your service, Bob, and thank you very much.
Much. Thank you. Stay here for a picture. And now this is the time we let family and friends come on in and get in the picture too. It's important, don't you? Usually they're not shy. So yeah, come on and join us for a picture. We like to challenge our photographer over there to see just how wide that angle can be.
another person came out. She's awesome.
Okay, that was wonderful. We're now on to our consent agenda. I'm going to start with, does any member need anything pulled? No one, let me know. Okay. With that, prior to taking action on the consent agenda, may I please have Supervisor Giomi's disclosure? Ms. Shooty, are you ready? We'll take Ms. Shooty and we'll come backwards.
That's great. Please take note, everyone. Okay. NRS 281A.420 requires me to disclose a conflict and abstain from voting when I have a disqualifying conflict. This agenda item concerns a short-term lease between Carson City and the Carson Water Subconservancy District, of which I am a board member as previously appointed by this Board of Supervisors. In my dual role as a member of this Board of Supervisors and as a member of the Carson Water Subconservancy District, I have fiduciary duties to both public bodies. However, NRS 541.100 specifically does not disqualify me from voting or acting upon any matter involving a water district to which I have been appointed. Therefore, in accordance with Nevada Ethics Commission opinions, I make this disclosure in the interest of full transparency, but I will be voting on this matter.
Yeah, what she said.
Yeah, I was going to say it's identical, right?
I've got one. Thank you. I found it. Thank you for
Supervisor
for
Giomi.
rubbing it in. NRS 281A.420 requires me to disclose a conflict of interest and abstain from voting when I have a disqualifying conflict. This agenda item concerns a short-term lease between Carson City and the Carson Water Subconservancy District, of which I am a board member as previously appointed by this Board of Supervisors. In my dual role as a member of this Board of Supervisors and as a member of the Water Subconservancy District, I have fiduciary duties to both public bodies. However, NRS 541.100 specifically does not disqualify me from voting or acting upon any matter involving a water district to which I have been appointed. Therefore, in accordance with the Nevada Ethics Commission opinions, I make this disclosure in the interest of full transparency, but I will be voting on this matter.
Thank you. Just in case, for the record, that was for item 12A. Okay, I will accept a motion for approval of the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda consisting of item 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D, 9A, 10A, 11A, 12A, 12B, 13A, 13B, 13C, D, and E, 14A, and that's it.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you. We're now on to agenda item 16A, which is discussion and possible action regarding the selection of the winner for the clerk recorder's I Voted sticker design contest. Emily? Oh, Miguel's going to do it. Okay. Great group. Don't know how we're going to pick. I, oh, no, we can't put it up for everybody to see. We'd see it on our screen, but not everybody. Sorry. He needs the pictures. Well, we can go right to our agenda on there and pull up the 4 pictures. There you go. There's always a way. Yeah, put some pressure on you. Yeah. Pressure. Oh, there you go.
Mark, can you help me get on the internet on this? No?
We can do them from our packet. You can just talk about the 4 choices. I think anybody following along can just look online if you just go in order.
Thank you, Mayor Bagwell and members of the board. My name is Miguel Camacho. I'm from the Elections Division in the Clerk Recorder's Office. Today, we're here to present the 5 finalists for the I Voted sticker competition. Previously, we did a I Voted sticker contest that was open to Carson City seniors in the 2020 election cycle. This time around, we opened it up to residents of Carson City as a whole. We narrowed it down to about 5, which I think are pretty good designs, which we presented to you guys in your guys' packets and in the agenda. Emily's here, and so she will present the sticker designs, and we'll put them on the screen here momentarily. But yes, we have I think one from a local high schooler, and then we have the rest of them. I think are just registered voters here in Carson City. We also are, like I said, we're going to pull them up here momentarily. If you just give me 1 second.
I got to say that in 2024, we have 3 elections. So it's something new. We're having the presidential preference primary in February, the primary in June, and the general in November. So they're already working hard at getting ready for it. In fact, they just had some orientation training sessions for new election workers that are interested in participating, which is great to see. A lot of people in Carson City want to turn out and help. And now we're in the process of ordering about 24,000 stickers. So we figured, okay, let's do a refresh and let's get everybody up to speed on the new design.
Is that enough stickers to handle 3?
We're just doing it for the first one.
Oh,
right
you're
now.
just doing it for the first one. I was gonna say, that's not enough for 3.
Yeah.
Our residents like to vote.
And I will mention also, people that receive their mail ballots will have a mail ballot sticker. So it is just going to be limited to those people that show up at the polling location. So the mail ballots all come with a sticker, and that's just to supplement people that come in person to vote.
That's what happened. Somebody already set theirs up. See, she knew to do it in advance. That's okay.
Did you actually run here from the courthouse?
Well, that might make it
Microphone, Emily.
easier to decide. Thank you so much. Still love them all. It does help. Mhm.
Pulling up the first finalists, again, most of these are going to have the prominent I voted slogan on there. So our second finalist with more of a local animals theme. We have the third finalist with the silhouette or the skyline of Carson City, the Capitol back there. We have the fourth finalist with the Battleborn theme. And then finally, this is our fifth finalist.
Thank you. All right, we're gonna have some tough choices here. You may,
Before we,
sure.
is there any reason we can't have more than one? I'm just asking.
Just,
We could have more than one. Logistically, we'll have people fighting for their favorite sticker. So we'd essentially would have to buy enough to give everybody one. So we'd,
the sticker they want.
yeah, so, you know,
Or you run out and
yeah.
it is
we-
what it is.
We could do that, yeah.
It's possible.
what you
We can
get.
look for
That was gonna be
pricing
my
on.
suggestion. Print
Yeah.
5,000 of all of them.
Yeah, I mean,
My only objection to the ones, I like the ones that say Carson City,
I was
Nevada,
gonna say,
personally.
that's it.
I would split it up amongst the ones that say Carson City,
I
Nevada.
agree.
The other ones could be anywhere in Nevada. Not that I don't like them, I love the designs. I mean, I think it's cool that, you know, they listed our state reptile and our state bird, and, you know, I love the Battleborn one, but, again, those don't say Carson City, and if we're gonna hand something out
one
in
and
Carson
three.
City, I want it to be Carson City. So I would say, let's print enough of 1 and 3, split it. That'd be my suggestion.
Was there prize money we gave or just bragging rights? Okay, then we don't have anything to worry about. The contest rules is all I'm. Oh, and I agree with 1 and 3. If we're gonna do it, it's about Carson City voters and saying hooray.
yeah, that's fine with us. We picked those 5, so we liked all those. We'd
Yep.
be happy with any of them.
They're
so
all
that-
wonderful.
That works for me, yeah.
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
idea.
that's fine. And if there is a preference for just one, or if pricing is such a, you know, I would vote for one.
Yeah, I really like 1 too.
Mhm.
Crisp, clean, and just,
Exactly.
and vibrant, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Let me see if there's any public comment on this item. And, okay, and please be sure and let each and every one of them know how impressed we were. I mean, this is great work, and I couldn't do it. So I just want to say all of them captured the essence for voting, right? So that part's what we were interested in. So I see Supervisor Giomi, you want to make a motion?
Yeah, before I do, maybe, you know, when we do it next year, we just add that Carson City, Nevada has to be a required, I mean, I think that would,
Element.
because that would have made it almost impossible to pick then. So it worked out. I move to select finalists number 1 and 3 as the winners of the I Voted Sticker Design Contest.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect that was unanimous. And thank you for running the contest, Emily. Great job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, we are now on agenda item 17A, which is discussion and possible action on our proposed resolution to augment our year-end amendment for our fiscal 22-23 budget in the amount of $21,033,899. This is pretty standard. We do at year-end. Ms. Russell, highlights?
Good morning, yes. Sherry Russell Benaboo, Chief Financial Officer for the record. So the total augmentation, the mayor, thank you, already read out to you. We do this every year. This is our second augmentation, so it's mostly unanticipated expenses, contractual allowances, and new grants that we've received. The total augmentation from contingency, what we're moving from contingency into the department line items, is about $1.2 million. We initially had a contingency of almost $2 million 1.986, so $2 million, which leaves $775,000 to roll to next year to help us with sales taxes, help cover the gaps. There's about 425,000 of that 1.2 million that's for retiree terminations, annual and sick payouts, basically. $242,000, we received an additional revenue for the wildland fire reimbursements. And this typically goes to overtime, but it was able to cover some payouts as well. Overtime wasn't as large as we anticipated. We've got $125,385 for mental evaluations in the public defender's office, juvenile, and the courts. So we are seeing some pretty significant increases in that area. And a lot of the courts, when they have expenses like that, we have to pay it. We can't just say, oh, we're out of budget, sorry, you don't get a mental evaluation. So that's where that augmentation comes from. And then we did have to augment another $121,000 in power and heating costs. I did try to augment this the first half of the year. I think we augmented $600,000 to get us to where we were last year, but they continue to increase. So we are at another $121,000. These are kind of expenses we can't control. The remaining augmentation amount for that contingency was $540,000. Again, these are just inflation, contractual changes. Some of the changes were like overtime or marathon employees trying to help cover the courts. So alternative sentencing, some of their officers had to cover the courts on the weekends. So their increase was pretty significant in their temporary staffing. Are there any questions on the general fund?
Just, does any member have any questions on anything in the resolution? Pretty standard. Okay, so is there any public comment on anything on the augmentation resolution? Any questions, thoughts? Okay, seeing none, I'll bring it back up to here. Somebody would like to make a motion. Supervisor Schutte looks ready.
I'm ready.
She's on it today.
I move to adopt resolution number 2023-R-17.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you. We're now moving on to agenda item 17B, which is a proposed resolution for the temporary interfund loan from the Regional Transportation Fund to the Campo Fund for an amount not to exceed $691,000. This again is our standard every year end, waiting to catch up on grant reimbursements. Supervisor Giomi, do you have a question?
Yeah, just a quick question. I mean, we do this every year. Is this the only way we can do it?
Unfortunately, yes, we are not allowed to have a negative cash balance
Right.
because the general fund has money to cover it.
Right, okay. I just didn't know if we could do it as part of the regular budget process or,
No, we don't want to give them money.
Yeah, we don't want to
We
give
want
them
it back.
extra money.
We
'Cause
want it
just
back.
asking.
We
Just, I mean, it's not that
do
big a deal.
just transfer it
asking.
year end and transfer it back. It's
Yeah.
very standard. It's
Yeah,
just,
no, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, is there any public comment on this item? No? Supervisor Giomi?
I move to adopt resolution number 2023-R-18.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you. Thank you. It's hard to believe we're at another year end, huh? Okay, we're now going to, it's time for us to renew all our insurance. 17C's discussion and possible action regarding insurance agreements for a total aggregate premium not to exceed $1,445,136 for FY '24 to be paid from our insurance fund. We're going to handle the pool for our property insurance, including our automobile physical damage, boiler and machinery, pollution excluding our landfill, cyber insurance, auto liability, general liability, employment practices, errors and omissions, and law enforcement liability coverage not to exceed $1,399,728. We'll also do Great American for our government crime insurance at a premium not to exceed $14,562. And then Beasley Lloyd's for our landfill pollution liability insurance, 2-year premium not to exceed $30,846. This is also everything standard. Did we have anything that, any surprises or major changes in our insurance? Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor. Brandon Lewis for the record.
Oh, sorry, green. There we go.
Good morning, Brandon Lewis for the record. There were no major changes in the program. We did have, with continued challenges in the cyber insurance markets, the pool did work through that process. And I would say the only major change on the program was a reduction in the cyber limit from 3 million to 1 million. So we made sure to note that. We are working on some potential excess options for Carson City to present. But other than that, there weren't any major changes.
And how about overall percentage of change?
So there's another little change. Like when we were first quoted, we were quoted at 36.4% increase. And so I was like, no, we need to look at options. And we did. We actually increased the deductible to 100,000. It was previously 25,000. We looked at how much we've actually received in claims between that dollar amount, and it was like $30,000 over the last 10 years. So it really is not worth paying the higher premium to get that low deductible. So we opted for the higher deductible, so we could decrease our premium, and now it's only a 14% increase.
Thanks, Sherry. That's a good point. I was thinking changes in the program overall, but for Carson, that's a really good point. We looked at the last 10 years of loss data for both property and liability.
Between the 25 and the 100,000.
Exactly.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, between the 25 and the 100 for property. And then for liability, we looked at all the way up to the 200,000 option. And thanks to the pool, Wayne Carlson, here, if there's any additional questions. Historically, the maximum deductible they've offered is 100,000. But talking with Sherry and going back and forth with the pool, they got creative and said, well, why don't we look at a 200,000 liability deductible? And like Sherry said, looking over the last 10 years of claims, we thought it made sense. That way you're not necessarily paying a premium for claims that you may not have.
So you're saying you believe it's acceptable risk to
Exactly.
change those deductibles? We could get unlucky and this is the year we get it, but
We could, but typically,
But
if
over the
we-
average.
typically, a lot of our property claims end up being vehicles, which a $25,000 deductible, we were paying most of the claims anyway. It was like when a brand-new vehicle was totaled. That was the 30,000, like 5 years ago, I think. So it doesn't happen very often. And I do think the risk is worth the reduction in premium.
okay, thank you. Supervisor Giomi.
I wanted to ask about the cyber risk, decreasing it from 3 million to 1 million. What was the price difference in staying at 3? I mean, do you know, was it significant?
They didn't
I mean,
offer it.
They
they
didn't
didn't,
offer
so
We had no
so there was no
options.
choice.
Right. But that we are
Interesting.
looking into a secondary market
Okay.
where we can see if we can get, that $1 million deductible and then
Yeah.
higher to, but I'm looking at premiums because I'm not gonna pay $1 million for that kind of insurance. But we'll see, what the premiums come out at, and we'll come talk to you if necessary.
Okay. And I assume Frank is comfortable at 1 million? I mean, I guess he has to be.
We don't have much choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that the cyber world is a scary world. And
Very
just
scary.
just saw a news story today where someone sent, using artificial intelligence, copied a daughter's voice and sent a ransom demand to a mother who recognized the voice as her daughter's outright,
Yeah.
because it was her daughter's voice created via AI, and extorted, money from her. So I worry a little bit about that, and government is prime target, as is healthcare. So it's a real concern. So I do encourage you to keep looking for secondary market stuff. I can see catastrophic things potentially happening if, especially a ransomware attack.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
I don't see any other questions on the insurance. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, no. Whoever would like to make a motion.
I move to approve the agreement as presented.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you. We are now on to handle our workers' comp, agenda item 17D. Discussion and possible action regarding a proposed agreement for excess workers' comp and employers' liability insurance with Safety National Casualty Corporation for a total estimated premium of $192,651 for fiscal year '24. Any differences or changes in our plans for this?
Nope, this is pretty standard. We're self-insured. This is just the excess loss, when we have, somebody horribly, die in the line of duty, something catastrophic.
If I may, after the board item was submitted, the underwriter confirmed they're keeping the rate flat. So there was a allowance here just in case the rate went up a bit, but we were able to keep it flat. So the only reason the premium will go up is just because of a slight increase in payroll.
That's wonderful news. We have someone good. We might have to keep that
That
carrier.
answers my question.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to keep that carrier. Okay, is there any public comment on this item? No? Supervisor White, you want to make a motion?
I move to approve the agreement as presented.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you so
Appreciate it.
much.
Keep working hard. Thank you, Pool Pack. Okay, we're now on to agenda item 18A, discussion and possible action regarding the consideration of complaints, protests, objections regarding the propriety and advisability of amending the Downtown Neighborhood Improvement District ordinance and a resolution dispensing with complaints, protests, objections regarding the DNID ordinance amendment. Ms. Sullivan, did we get any complaints, protests, or anything?
No.
Received none. Well, that was easy. Does any member have any? It's just our time to dispense with any of those. Let me ask on public comment in case someone just didn't get their information to Ms. Sullivan in time. Okay, I'll bring it back up here for a motion. Supervisor
I'll
Giomi.
make it. I move to adopt resolution number,
What? Oh, sorry, it's two parts. Go ahead, sorry. We didn't have any. I'm sorry. You're on it.
okay, thank you. I move to adopt resolution number 2023-R-19.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Yeah, I hope the top end was if we had any, and we didn't. It's like, oh, we don't have any. Okay, we're now on to agenda item 18B. Same thing, but this time it's considerations for complaints, protests, and objections regarding the propriety and advisability of amending the South Carson Neighborhood Improvement District ordinance and a resolution dispensing with complaints, protests, objections regarding the SCNID ordinance amendment. Ms. Sullivan, did we receive any for the South?
No.
None were received. Is there anyone in the public comment just in case? Don't see any there. I'll bring it back up to the board. Somebody wants to make a motion to adopt this resolution.
I move to adopt resolution number 2023-R20.
Second.
It all choked up.
I have a motion and a second for adoption. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Thank you. That was unanimous. We're now on to agenda item 18C. I do want to let you know that AB 60 passed and the governor signed it, so we might not go through all this in the future, but anyway. 18C is discussion and possible action to adopt on second reading Bill number 108, a proposed ordinance levying the Downtown Neighborhood Improvement District fiscal year 2024 assessments and amending ordinance number 2016-1, which established the DNID. Mr. Hohen, may I have the title, please?
An ordinance relating to improvement districts levying the fiscal year 2024 assessment for the Downtown Neighborhood Improvement District, amending the DNID ordinance under Chapter 271 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, and providing other matters properly relating hereto.
Thank you. Ms. Sullivan, did we have anyone with additional comments, changes, updates?
No.
No? Board, any questions? Okay, I'll accept a motion for approval. Supervisor Horton.
I'll do it. I move to adopt on second reading Bill number 108, ordinance number 2023-7.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. We are now on to agenda item 18D, discussion and possible action to adopt on second reading Bill number 109, a proposed ordinance levying the South Carson Neighborhood Improvement District for fiscal year 2024 assessments and amending ordinance number 2021-8, which established the South Carson Neighborhood Improvement District. Mr. Hohen, may I have the title, please?
An ordinance relating to improvement districts levying the fiscal year 2024 assessment for the South Carson Neighborhood Improvement District, amending the SCNID ordinance under Chapter 271 of the Nevada Revised Statutes, and providing other matters properly relating hereto.
Thank you. Any members, any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion. Who's brave?
I'll do it again.
Mr. Horton. He says, I'll take that one.
Move to adopt on second reading Bill number 109, ordinance number 2023-8.
Second.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Thank you. On agenda item 19A, which is discussion and possible action to adopt on second reading Bill number 110, a proposed ordinance establishing the Carson City Office of the Public Defender. Mr. Hohen, may I have the title, please?
An ordinance relating to administration and personnel, creating the Office of the Public Defender in Carson City, and providing other matters properly relating thereto.
Thank you so much. I just want to let everyone know for the record that I did attend the Indigent Defense Board and they did adopt our plan. So we don't have to wait for them. They've already done the adoption. Is there any other questions on this? No? Is there any public comment on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
I move to adopt on second reading Bill number 110, ordinance number 2023-9.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous.
Go forth and defend.
We're on to agenda item 19B, which is discussion and possible action regarding the proposed funding for $2,010,513, and we can't forget the 40 cents. We might round in the future, but that's okay. We got to get that in for fiscal year 2024, which is necessary to establish the office of the Carson City Public Defender beginning July 1, 2023. Ms. Hicks, can you please describe any changes that we made from the last time that we saw this item?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The grand total amount has not changed for the funding. No changes to salary and benefits. However, there were some minor changes to the line items for the office lease, operating supplies, software maintenance, computer, phone, and printers, just as we obtained those final quotes and were able to refine those numbers.
Thank you so much. And we did receive late material that the Office of the Nevada State Public Defender, once the DIDS board approved our plan, we got the letter indicating that the $1,398,020 was no longer to be assessed to us. Does any member have a question? Pretty straightforward. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion. Supervisor Giomi. Oh, nope, Supervisor Schutte, hit the button. Let's go.
I move to approve the funding allocations as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. We're now on to discussion and possible action regarding a proposed lease with Tanglewood LLC and Carson City to rent approximately 4,207 square feet of office space at 755 North Roop Street to house the Carson City Office of the Public Defender for a term commencing July 1, 2023 and ending June 30, 2028 at the initial rate of $1.30 per square foot per month plus annual rate increases capped at 2.5% for an aggregate amount of $328,272.21. Please note for the record that the lease being discussed and voted on today is the one in the late material. Ms. Hicks, anything to bring to our attention on the lease?
No, Madam Mayor, but we're available if there's any questions.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Pretty straightforward. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll accept a motion.
Move to approve the lease as presented.
I have a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, say no. Let the record reflect it was unanimous. Okay, we're now on to agenda item number 20, our non-action items for the day. Acting City Manager, no, do we have any updates?
I just wanted to again thank Public Works, the Fire Department, and the Sheriff's Office for their response over the weekend in regards to our flash flooding. There was a lot that was happening around town, and they were very quick to mobilize. So just want to thank staff again for their efforts. After a long winter, it doesn't seem they got a break quite yet.
Yeah, not yet. Okay, is there anything else any member of the board would like to share? Supervisor Giomi?
Yeah, we had our CTA meeting it was this Monday night, I think. And nothing earth-shattering about it. We extended or reinitiated an agreement for marketing with a firm out of Reno who's done a great job for us. And but I wanted to ask Stephanie if we're aware of applicants for that CTA board, because we had to end our meeting early. One member was absent. We're down a member, and the other member had to leave early, so we didn't actually get a full meeting in. So I'm just curious if we've had any applicants or.
I am not aware, but I can find out for you, and we can also send out another, posting that we're looking to make sure people know we're still looking for members.
It's a needed position. It's for other business interests, which could really be anything in the community. The CTA does a wonderful job, and I just, trying to advocate for it because we do need that fifth person. So thank you.
Thinking cap on for that one. Supervisor Schutte?
I just wanted to give a shout out to Department of Alternative Sentencing. I did a ride along last week and then visited mental health court again for the second time, and the misdemeanor drug court just to kind of get an update. And you know what? It is such an important program, and really working to help folks in the alternative sentencing system, if you will, to be successful and to get on their feet and to be a part of the community and contributing is just so worthwhile on many levels. But a huge thank you to the whole staff of alternative sentencing, to the judges. Just the work is important, and so I appreciate it.
I don't see anyone else. I just wanted to throw my extra thanks to, I got several, at a team, I'm going to call it the team because they didn't even know who they were thanking, but I got several compliments from the community on how well Public Works, the team, responded to that bizarre storm. I don't even know what else to call it. It was just bizarre. We've lived here, I don't know, most of us, really most of our lives, and I can't remember hail that looked like snow. I was like, wow. So just again, wanted to publicly thank them. It's always an honor to get those phone calls from residents telling us we really did help them and how appreciative they were. Okay, I don't see anything else under that. We will have a closed door meeting to confer with our council. So we will ask those to leave. With that, we will stand in recess till 2 o'clock when we will come back for the interview with the potential candidate. So thank you. 2 o'clock.